Let's do some examples of our own now. Look at example 7 here. It says convert 0.38 meters to millimeters. So remember what that is. It's King Henry died. Base unit here is meters. Drinking chocolate milk. And I'm adding an M after every single one of those. Start off with what you're given. So I'm given 0.38 meters. Go to what you want. Well, I want to go to millimeters. So that's 1, 2, 3 units to the right. So start off with that number. Here's 0.38. And I need to move that decimal 3 units to the right. So that'd be 1, 2. And because there isn't a number there, I need to add a 0. So that'd be 0.380, which is 380 millimeters. Just move the decimal 3 places to the right. Same thing as multiplying it times 100. So if it moves to the right, you multiply it by that many zeros, a 1 with that many zeros. Sorry, it would be multiplying it times 1,000, I should have said, because it's 1, 2, 3 zeros, right? So you'd multiply it by 1,000. So if you move it to the right 3, you're going to multiply it by a 1 with 3 zeros. If you move it to the left, you're dividing it by a 1 with that many. Okay, so let's do it again. We're going to go from meters to centimeters now. I don't know. I'm not going to do the whole thing. So there's meters, decimeters, and centimeters is what it is. And again, I'm starting off with meters. I'm going to centimeters. So that's 2 units to the right. So I need to take the number 3.07 and I'm going to multiply it times a 1 with 2 zeros. Again, because it's to the right, I use multiplication, or I'm just moving it 2 decimals to the right, and that would be 307. And that's 307. We've got to be careful here. You most certainly want to label your answer. 307 centimeters. Okay, so distance they do in meters. We do in, and that's it, meters. We do it in inches, feet, yards, miles. Weight, we use ounces, pounds, and tons. Remember, it's 16 ounces to a pound. That's 16 to 1. Not a nice number. And then it's 2,000 pounds is in 1 ton. So you got to be careful with that number too. Horrible numbers again in the English system. What does the metric system use for weight? Well, the metric system uses something called grams. Grams. So again, I just taught you how long is a meter. Well, if I told you how much does, how much does your calculator weigh? Well, I would say your calculator weighs certainly less than a pound. It'd weigh a few ounces, you with me, but less than a pound. So if I asked you, how much does a gram weigh? Like, right, what weighs a gram? Like you could picture something that weighs a pound. What's something that weighs a gram? Do you have any concept? And I didn't even have a concept of this either, but what weighs a gram would be about a paperclip. So a paperclip is the weight of a gram. So when you ask a person's weight, they're not going to tell you how many grams they weigh, because it would be too many, right? They're going to use one of the prefixes. They're going to use kilograms, or kilograms is how we pronounce it, but it's really kilograms. Notice 1 kilogram, or kilogram, is the weight of 1,000 paper clips approximately, okay? So that's what a kilogram is about 1,000 paper clips. A kilogram is more than a pound, by the way. So I want you to notice this as well. It says mass and weight are closely related. Weight is the measure on how strongly Earth is pulling on an object. So when we measure weight, we are measuring on how strongly is the Earth pulling on it. So your weight is different on Earth than it is on the moon. So it says, therefore, an object's weight is less in space than on Earth's surface because there's less gravitational pull on it. However, the amount of material in the object, which is called its mass, how much material is in the object, remains the same. So on the surface, Earth, mass and weight can be used interchangeably, but if we go anywhere other than Earth, it's not the same. So it says the gram is the unit of mass in the metric system, to which prefixes are added. 1 gram is about the weight of 1 paperclip. Exact same system here. Exact same saying, King, except now it's with a G. King Henry died, which is decagram. The base unit is gram. Drinking, which would be decigram. Chocolate, which would be centigram. Milk, which would be milligram. So there's our saying right there, that King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. It's absolutely no difference. No calculators needed. All you're doing is moving the decimal. If it goes to the right, you move the decimal to the right or multiply by a 1 with that many zeros. If it moves to the left, you move the decimal to the left or divide by a 1 with that many zeros. So let's look at this one. Convert 324 grams to kilograms. 320 grams to kilograms. So think about what that would be. If we started off with grams and we wanted to go to kilograms, we would be moving the decimal left 3, or we could divide by a 1 with 3 zeros, which would be the number 1,000. Anytime you move left, you divide. Anytime you move right, you multiply by a 1 with a 0, as many zeros as it is. So if we started off with 324 grams, and then what we do is we divide that by 1,000, it's no longer in terms of grams. This would be in terms of kilograms. So what do you get if we move the decimal left 3? Moving the decimal left 3 would be 0.324 kilograms. If you just put 0.324, you didn't put that 0 there, that's perfectly fine with me. That's called the leading 0. I don't care if you have the leading 0 or not. So we just did this together because I read the page, but this is also done at the top of the next page.